Well, hey, good morning, everybody. It's Kevin. Today is the 14th of June, 2021, and this is Kev's Daily Vibe of the Day, or whatever you want to call it. Um, Gosh, I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you feel rested and ready for the beginning of the work week if you're a Monday through Friday person. And if you're not, and if you just keep rolling on in the deep, welcome to a new day. And with that said, I think today's what am I looking for? Yeah, the vibe of the day. There you go. Is claiming your worth, being ready to claim your worth. Um, Sending out and launching thoughts of desire because that's a vibrational frequency, and claiming your worth is a vibrational frequency. And many times we don't claim our worth. We don't claim what we know we are deserving of. Although sometimes we do, but not all the time. And I'm not talking about materialism. I think that's an easy thing to be worthy of. You can always justify new clothes, new things, but worth, what it's worth to stand up for yourself, what it's worth to be counted, what it's worth to be heard, what it's worth to be seen, what it's worth to be a powerful person in your immediate environment. So, with that said, let's get right to what card is going to vibrate to claiming our worth. So, let's go into this. And I had a delightful day yesterday with some incredibly beautiful women in a town called Duncan, which is not too far outside Spartanburg. 6 or 7 ladies who gathered together to hear more about angels and, get a 3 card reading, strength, heart, and challenge reading, which was all very, here's 2. Well, that is not very good shuffling, so let's try that again. Anyway, okay. Thank you, angels, for revealing to us. Whoop, there we go. Guardian angel popped out. That's what I would call jumper. So put it over the side because that's important. And then we'll try again to see if there's another one here. So that just tells me that my guardian angel is here and saying, you're right on point. This is right exactly what we need to do. Exactly where we need to be. Move the mouse out of the way and then, boom. I'm going to pick that card. What I will say about doing all of this work, it gets easier the more I do it, like practice. So let's see what the card of the day is. Ooh, honesty and communication. That really does tie into claiming our worth. Oftentimes, we are presented with situations, people, information that the heart says no, but yet the ego says, well, yes, why not? And I think this card is here to represent being honest in everything that we do. And that means really truly being honest to ourselves, honest to what we have going on. So this is an opportunity right now, claiming your worth, to speak your truth. And perhaps you've reached a point in your life where you've really got to start being honest with yourself and everybody in your circle of influence. And if you're holding on to things, or you feel that you need to share something, perhaps you're worried about something, fearful, anxious, or something's going on with you and you've been keeping it to yourself. You've been sort of like hiding, was what we call it. Then now is the time to come out and claim it as what you want people to know. When you share your feelings and speak truthfully, you become authentic. And authenticity is truly who you are. It's no good trying to want to hide it because you think something else is going to happen. That's the ego wanting to keep you safe and wanting to keep you in that limiting belief. I've got a prayer I'm going to share with you that I've been doing every day, but it's worth sharing. It's praying to the Lady Venus. But anyway, your angels want you to know that when you speak with honesty, you attract experiences that lovingly reflect who you really truly are. So the bigger picture here is, if you feel that a situation or a person is making you lose a sense of yourself, that is not making you feel worthy, or drawing you away from what's really joy, what's really love, it's time to speak up and make sure that everything you say is heard. You're being guided. Here's the guardian angel card. To follow your own heart, to connect you with your heart's desire. So take time to think about where you are not claiming your worth, where are you letting your power leak out, and focus on what's really truly important. Where do you want to direct your desires, your thoughts of desire and your vibrational frequency? Where do you want that to go? It may be that you're fighting against the flow and not wanting to admit to yourself that something's holding you back or dampening your spirit. But the angels love you and want you to know that honesty is the best policy for you right now. And then when the guardian angel shows up, just pops up out there, it's almost like they're saying, well, hey, it's time to pay attention to me. It's time to acknowledge that I exist. And everybody has one. And this guardian angel, it's been with us since we were even conceived on any life plane. I believe that we are reincarnated. I think that we get to choose what our destiny is. You don't have to believe that if you don't want to. I believe there's quite a few people that do think about it and do ponder and wonder, is this it? Do we get this one chance to be who we are and that's it, we're done? Well, yes, in this particular lifetime, but then there's always ways that we can evolve. We can change the planet, change how consciousness goes. And before you were incarnated on the earth, I believe you danced around the stars and the planets together with your guardian angel. So if you're feeling right now a little overwhelmed, alone, not sure what to do, you're going through a transformational period, know that your guardian angel's with you to share the love and make you feel safe. And you're never walking this lifetime alone at all, ever. And this comes into play with being honest in your communication. Now, prayer was not something that I took to like a duck to water, because I was always raised not on purpose to be laborious, but they just, in all honesty, felt very fake. I felt that when I was doing the praying, I was going through the motions of the prayer, going from the motions of asking for things, because I felt like, well, that's what everybody else is doing, so let me just follow the herd. Now I know that it's a way of asking the spirit world for guidance, for help, and God being in absolutely everything that we have. You could call it source, you can call it universe if you want to. Give it the name that works for you and the name that says all of creation, period. The energy that put the stars up in the sky, the energy that creates how the earth moves around the sun, all of that stuff. But know that even when you give a quick prayer to your guardian angel, they can take away some of the pressure. So your angel wants to hear from you a lot more, so that they can support you. And they must be invited into your world to do it. Your angel guide was made for you, specifically for you, and they're dedicated to do whatever you want, whatever you're looking for. So, take some time out for an easy, informal conversation. You can chat to them like you're having a cup of coffee with them. Speak openly, but make sure it's coming from your heart. Make sure that any challenges you're facing, anything you need help with, and through that conversation, that honest community conversation, the help is going to find its way to you. When you draw the card, which we've done, of the guardian angel and the card with honesty and communication, you know it's time to have a real conversation about really what's going on, because it's going to get in the way of what you're really looking to achieve. So I like to share my own intentions, and I like to share my own pushing the envelope and stretching the boundaries, because I think it helps for people to understand that exactly like you, I am the same, equal, no different, and have the same fears and issues and perhaps struggles. And at different points, they have been quite remarkable. So I've got goosebumps right now. So I can feel this circle right up and over here. I feel these energies, and that's my truth and my honesty. Speaking to my own guardian angel, who I think for the last maybe, I don't know, 6 months, even more, I've invited them in. And in a minute, we'll do a little prayer to invite them in. And really, a prayer is just a conversation. That's what I would love for you all to get. Yes, it's helpful when you get quiet and you get peaceful and you turn off your devices. I was sharing yesterday, my phone's not here. Imagine that. Guardian angel says, no. Put that away. I was sharing yesterday with our group of ladies that these devices, I like to call them digital portals. So, if you've read Harry Potter or anything that's to do with witchy woo-woo land, the portal is a place with which energy flows through, comes in and out of, right? So they're portals. So in other words, anytime it goes ding, ping, vibrates, twists, there is this natural physical impulse to jump. So the information's flying through that screen, coming from whatever satellite brings you the information, and it's there. As an experiment, because I like to look at growth in terms of, let's have an experiment. Let's try this out. It isn't a commitment. It is I'm going to look in that direction. I'm going to take one step towards it. I might take 2 steps. I might take 3. By taking an experimental look at what it would take to turn that portal off and see what happens, you're not really committed to saying, I'm going to get rid of my phone. I'm not going to touch it anymore. Because really, that's a denial. It's a bit like when someone says, I'm going to lose weight. Everybody inside says, oh yeah, we've heard all that before. And it never really works. You can speak your intention. And I think at the time that people do talk about their intention, their self-worth, going to get a new job, going to get more money, going to pay my bills off, going to get my finances in order, going to lose weight, going to do exercise, what all these things, which is like New Year resolution, right? The intentions are paramount, fantastic, great. So now I have a look at the guardian angel says, oh, okay, but you've got to invite me in to help you. You're not inviting them in. The way the angel world works is they have to be invited in, because there's no way they're going to push and shove. This world would be a different place if the spirit world was given the same free will that we have. Oh, goodness gracious me. It would be quite the mess, I think. I can imagine. Imagine if the guardian angels or the archangels were given free will to just come and do whatever they needed to do. Oh, there would be madness and mayhem happening everywhere. I could just only imagine Archangel Michael given free will to go do whatever he wanted to do. Oh, we wouldn't know what was going on. I'm using this as a euphemism to get you to understand that the world of angels, which hasn't necessarily been in the human form, some have. The Thronans, I believe, at some point had the stories of them being walking on the earth plane. And when they went over to spirit, the part of creation we know as God, source, universe, said, you would be better served by lifting and going up to archangel status and becoming part of that inner sanctum of the creator. And I believe that would be Archangel Sandalphon, Archangel Metatron, and Archangel, the newer one, Orion. And Orion's energy is one of my guides that popped in probably the end of last year. I was trying to get this name, and it was Orion. That Orion had come, and I wasn't quite sure why. And it was all about just stay on the journey and all will be revealed. That's kind of, in a way, what your angels want to know. I was talking yesterday to this group about, angels have been spoken to in the Abrahamic types of text. Abrahamic being Christianity, which includes Church of England, Episcopal, Catholicism, as well as the Church of Islam and the Judaist religion. They talk about the angels, but they put them in a context that most folks who are somewhat non-denominational, hand up, I am non-denominational, have a bit of a challenging time with it, because along with it comes that judgment. Well, the angels don't judge anybody. They're not here to admonish anyone, to tell you that you're wrong, that you've done something terrible. That's what we believe because people taught us that. They told us that. I'm not picking on any particular religious group, but you don't have to look too far to realize that some of that stuff was really judgmental and quite unkind. Certainly not loving, certainly not caring, certainly not nurturing, and not a following that I could feel like, well, this is something I want to follow. I want to be. No. People were kept in fear of going to hell. Really? You believe there's such a place? I don't. And all that's of the devil. Well, who is the devil? That's some creature that man made up. The spirit world is about love. It's about light. It's about lifting. It's about claiming the worth. It's about being worthy and knowing that you've always been worthy. Somebody told you that you didn't deserve and you believed it. That's the problem. We've all been told that we don't deserve the great relationship, we don't deserve the great house, the car, whatever those things are, we don't deserve it. Well, then why would we come here and get in line to do what? Suffer? Or because someone else put these ideas in our mind and we believed it. Now, that's not to say that all of a sudden you run into being accusatory, because that's the other part of what we learn to do. If you watch people that discover, oh my goodness, this has been going on all the time and I didn't know this and you never told me, then you work into blame land, and you work into pointing the fingers, and you work into that place of shame. So the opposite part of the claiming the worth, meaning stepping up and realizing that you are worthy, doesn't include pushing somebody else down who told you that you weren't, if that makes sense. It is a misstep. Here's the other little piece of that I learned years ago. I was dealing with my perception that dynamics of my family were so that they felt like I was a bit of a freak. No one ever said that. You didn't really have to. But being gay in the 60s and the 70s was a freak of nature. And I share this story, as many people have. To grow up like that and then have it ripple out into a community where school friends, the parents of school friends, and their siblings, it becomes something that you are taking on as a huge burden. And for many years, in my younger years, I would say, how is this possible that I can have this feeling of love and caring and kindness and sensitivity in my heart, and yet be treated so poorly. And then I look to some story in like biblical times, if you will, and I think about how, the Master Jesus, they chastised him for whatever reason, we don't know. Fear that he was really powerful, fear that he was willing to claim his worth, and fear that he was willing to free the world of oppression, free the world of feeling worthless. And then you go fast forward, Mahatma Gandhi did the same thing, was chastised and vilified and all these terrible things. Martin Luther King, another one. Several of these iconic people have come to the planet for whatever reason. And if you're talking about the gay world, you've got Harvey Milk in San Francisco, liberated the gays. And then we have, in modern times, RuPaul. He allowed people to express themselves in such a way that most people would have said, how freaky is that? There were two, I would say they're transvestites at that time, because that's what they called them, that actually started the Stonewall riots 52 years ago in New York. Stood right up there and said, no, you're not going to beat us up. You're not going to come here and start rioting and having all this going on. What I know for sure is that when people rise up and claim their worth and claim that they're worthy of being equal and one with other people, there is a period of peace that happens afterwards. But all that stuff bubbles up. And I'm going off topic and I'm getting a little political and I don't like that. But anyway, making my point. Claiming your worth means ruffling some feathers. It means getting into some stuff, which is here why we have this honesty in communication. Your guardian angel, invite them in. Know that whatever you are doing, providing it comes from a loving, kind, caring, benevolent, beautiful place, and it isn't for your own personal gain, because that's manipulation, then it can't be seen as something terrible or evil or horrible. And when you do come across people that, as you transform and as you begin to open up, which is what I was getting to, the truth of saying, it took some guts to come back out here and say, you know what, my intention is to spread the word of love. My intention is to join this angel team that Kyle Gray set up and become part of this global movement, because I believed in what they were saying. On our own, we're pretty powerful. When we link up with other people and we look at that thing as being one equal plane of people, that's a force to be reckoned with. Once we get into that, once we realize, listen, if you find someone that doesn't feel like they're worthy, the folks who perhaps you've seen at a stoplight that's got a paper sign up that needs money, that's their living, that's how they make a living. There's this assumption that they're going to run somewhere behind a bush and shoot up drugs, or somewhere and get... And yes, you can see that perhaps that's been their road. Perhaps that's been their journey, that they themselves have found themselves in such a awful space that they think the only way to survive is through a bottle of booze or through a needle or whatever else that looks like. That's the only way they can get going. Well, you can't all of a sudden, I can only imagine Mother Mary showing up, who probably has been crying over these folks forever. Somebody please needs to come and help these people. And yes, indeed, people do. And yes, indeed, there were folks when the tent city went up here in Charlotte that went downtown Charlotte and handed out blankets and coats and food and etc., etc. And there were the folks among them, of those folks, who would take them, thank you very much, and then try to sell them on. There's always going to be what I consider a level or a layer of, you can call it evil, darkness, you can call it difficulty. There will always be that. That's how we have a balance. To be able to see the light, feel the light, raise the vibration, claim your worth, you have to look at, oh, this is not what I want, which is the other part of it. Knowing that I don't want to live in a world that feels this way, looks this way, is this way. I'd like to be over here, please. And there are two pieces of the scale. One scale is called fear. And the ego wants you to stay in that bucket of fear for as long as they can keep you there. Because when you get stuck in fear, when the ego is driving the bus, being judgmental, blaming, shaming, and all those other things, that keeps going. That keeps surviving. On the other side of it is love. That's the opposite end. Most of us live in that pendulum through the middle. And gradually it begins to swing over. But to get it to swing over to the place where we have blessings, we're worthy, we're getting what we want, we're lifting, we're becoming, I don't know, a leader of love, if you will. Little bits of that ego has to be chipped away. Little bits of that fear has to go. Little pieces of what we're not really sure we like about ourselves has to kind of take a back seat for us to inch forward into what we're looking to do. And I'm hoping this makes sense. So, in my own situation, it would be really wrong of me to go point fingers and chastise folks who perhaps bullied me. Even people I was close to, family members who didn't understand it. That's not right for me to admonish them or judge them or blame them, because that's fear. It's the fear that this person who I thought was going to be this way isn't. I thought was going to live this life didn't. I thought was going to be this kind of person isn't that kind of person. And it was the fear of what other people put in their mind. Because, you know, up until 1967, to be gay was a crime. They decriminalized it in 1967. So imagine coming to the planet in the 40s and the 50s, knowing that you really preferred to be in a close bonded loving relationship with somebody of your own sex, was an abomination, a crime. You could go to jail for a year, and people would say such hateful, heinous things about you. There was a time where interracial marriage was illegal. Couldn't do it. That's just not right. And we've moved so far forward. In this lifetime, less than 100 years ago, a woman by the name of Helen Duncan was put in jail. Now, the charge was vagrancy, basically witchcraft, whatever. It had not been on the books, the law books, for centuries. Yet because she chose to bring the light of God or the light of spirit into the homes of people and deliver this, she was a Scottish woman, had I don't know how many children, but she was blessed by spirit to come on the earth and sort of anchor the light, anchor the divine in. This woman was vilified, chastised, and basically jailed because of the fear. You know, when people become powerful and they stand up on their own and they get to where they claim their worth, people who knew them as being different don't know what to do with it. The key point to moving forward is to know that stay with your honesty and be clear about your communication, and know that your guardian angel, no matter what's going on, has got your back. And this is where you invite in that spirit, the spiritual world that put you here to begin with. They got you going. You'll find that when you lift and lighten, when you claim your worth, you will be magnetically, energetically attached to and attracted to other people who feel the same way. The fearmongers, you can call them haters, whatever. I don't like that word hate because I think it's just really not right. There's something about it that's not right. I'd like to turn that around and say to somebody who says, I hate this, I hate that. Whoa, wait a minute. Give me 5 things right now that you are grateful for, that you are pleased about. That's what you turn that around. Because really, that's fear. So I need to sort of, let's just take a look up here on the love end of the pantry. It's quite amazing when you look at things in literal terms and point that out. People kind of get it. So, all that to say, let's read from Melody Beattie's book and then we will meditate. I'm not doing a very good job of keeping this to 30 minutes, but that's okay. We're at 30 minutes now and I've still got a ways to go. Learn the power of respect is what today's message is. I watched my journey unfold this spring. Each place I visited gave me a lesson. People would show up at the right time and place and with exactly the right words. The words I needed to hear. Sometimes the lesson would be announced loudly, clearly, and sometimes an awareness would surface softly when I least expected it, when I was beginning to wonder if any lesson or purpose was there at all. Anything I saw and experienced ultimately reinforced my trust in God, the universe, and the power of my heart to lead me on. After all, I'd taken this trip on just a moment's notice with no itinerary, and a magical adventure had unfolded. By the time this journey ended, and I pulled into the driveway at home, I had learned more than just to trust the process. I had learned to respect it. Do more than trust the process, the journey you're on. Become so awestruck by it that you respect it. Respect your feelings and in a timely manner in which they surface, in which they heal, in which they lead you into new discoveries. Respect your experiences, the places you've been, the scenes you've seen, and everything you've been through. Respect the way you've gained gold and jewels and the treasures of your soul from one another. Respect the darker moments, the more difficult times, when you're uncertain and don't know what to do next. Respect the timing as your journey unfolds. Don't murmur about why such and such has to be the way it is. Don't limit how your growth can happen. Learn to respect the path of others. Learn to respect your own. I like that. Learn the power of respect. That is all about claiming your worth, my friends, and saying that you're worthy. That comes from saying, I respect myself enough to know that I'm worthy, and no one's going to tell me otherwise. Here is what I was talking about earlier about claiming your worth. So those of you who may or may not have this book, Divine Masters Ancient Wisdom, it's the latest best-selling, I might add, it's not even been out a month, by Kyle Gray. On page 259, it is in a section towards the back that is all about the Lady Venus. And Kyle's suggestion is that we, to create shifts, we do something on a regular basis for about 33 days. It's about how long it takes to sort of anchor it down. And in those 33 days, there's times where we forget, oops, didn't do it this day. So you could start again, or you can just add the extra day, which is tend to be what I do. Like, oh, I know I've missed 2, so you keep going. So here's how the prayer goes. When you get quiet and you get peaceful and you've turned off your devices and you know there's nothing that's interrupting your flow, is what you say. Thank you, Lady Venus, for helping me rise above and beyond the limiting ideas, stories, or false narratives that have been placed in my heart and energy by others. I'm now ready to break the bonds and chains that prevent me from rising high. Thank you, Lady Venus, for guiding me out of my mind and back into my heart space so that I can have my own personal connection and experience with Source. Thank you, Source Energy, for allowing me to experience you directly. I'm ready to claim my worth. And at the end of it, I say that usually 3 or 4 times. I'm ready to claim my worth. I'm ready to claim my worth. And it could be summed up in a really quick way by saying, thank you, angels, for being with me, leading me forward, and really showing me what I need to know. I'm ready to listen and I'm ready to receive. That right there in itself is a prayer of the day. You get used to saying that a few times and watch as things begin to magically manifest and happen. I would not have been able to cope or go through a shutdown, lockdown, loss of income. Literally, that fear was, whoa, what do I do now? And I did not skip a beat. I did not skip a beat. I got right into the power of faith. I got right into saying to my angels, listen, this is what, I don't know what to do next. I'd already been bringing in that angelic energy into my world anyway. And within a day or two, up pops Kyle Gray on a YouTube feed that he did some interview back in I don't know when. And I said to a friend of mine, have you ever heard of this dude? He's a Scottish fella. He went on a British talk show, and I don't know what it is about him, but I was mesmerized. Then I watched more. And at first I battled with, he's cute as a button, a good looking dude. And I'm like, maybe there's something going on that's an attraction that's beyond. But more I dug in. And then things began to happen. I got the messages, just because the law says this doesn't mean to say you have to follow it. Now, I should be really clear. I am not advocating that your angel guides are going to lead you down an illegal road. They will lead you down the road that's right. They'll lead you down the road that's righteous, if you will. You have to be honest about doing some of the things you do. And I think we'll stop there. I'm going to meditate, but through the meditation, I'm going to sort of ask you to bring your guardian angel in and do it in a way that pretty much is easy. But it does take practice. Like anything else, when you step up with your intention to do something, you've got to learn bit by bit, piece by piece. Because if you went from point A to point Z and you missed the bits in between, there's some pieces of the puzzle or the pieces of the journey or steps in the pathway that don't get followed. And just as Melody Beattie says in Journey of the Heart, which is what I just read a few minutes ago, respect is in respecting the journey that you're on and each thing it teaches you. We are taught to go from A to Z quickly. People want to skip bits. And it isn't that they don't want the journey, they want the accolation, they want the achievement, they want the degree, they want the grade, they want the higher level. They think that to get there they have to reach this thing. No. That's not true. Because that is speaking to worthlessness. The fact that you want to get there quicker than anyone else says that you don't believe you are worthy of taking the journey. Right, my friends? Feet flat on the floor. Take a big, huge breath in. Release it, let it out. Now, get to a place where you are centered and physically integrated with the space you're in. That starts. Turn off your phones, turn off the telly. Even if you're hearing cars roaring by, or your heating or air conditioning systems going, that's fine. Follow the rhythm of your breath, and you can create a count. Like you could go 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just concentrate on how long it takes you to fill up your lungs, how long it takes you to empty them out. And at the top and the bottom of each inhale and exhale, there's a tiny pause, millisecond, even a second, where the diaphragm changes direction and the body exhales or inhales, exhales or inhales. And this breath in and out, it's audible, you can hear it. Hear it on the inside with your inside ears. That is directly connecting you to your central nervous system. It's calming you down. And each time you inhale and exhale, you go deeper and deeper and deeper into relaxation. And when you're deep in relaxation, you can turn all of the distractions out. Now bring your mind to your space around your heart, at the center of your chest where you know your heart is. And imagine there's a light, a candle that is permanent. They call this the eternal flame. Place that light in your mind's eye, inside your heart. Allow yourself to see it, picture it, give it a golden light tone. Think of it as the flame of a candle. And looking into the flame of a candle, the candle creates an orb around it. It creates this incandescent sphere that comes from the intensity of being in the middle of the candle flame. And then the energy of the candle, the heat, the aura of the candle's flame is somewhat extended outward from the center of the candle. Now imagine with every inhale, this flame gets a little larger and engulfs your chest. Exhale and rest a bit, enjoying the larger feeling, the larger vision of the candle that is now taking up your torso. The flame's intensity is at your heart, and the glow is going up to your shoulders, down to your buttocks. Take a breath in again and see this flame extending up through the crown of your head, as if the tip of the flame is going through the top of your head. You exhale and you rest and you take in the expansion of this eternal flame getting larger. And the bottom end of it, the other side of it, is down now into your feet. And the glow of this candle has created a sphere around your whole body. Your eternal flame is now radiating out from you in every direction possible. And there are 4 additional chakras that are not physical ones they typically talk about. Gaia's gateway, Gaia mean earth, is way down deep into the earth below your feet. Your earth star chakra is slightly below your feet, thinking about 6 to 8 inches below your feet. You can see and picture the flame, your eternal flame, stretching down into the earth. Then moving up towards the crown of your head, you have the soul star slightly above your head, 6 to 8 inches. And the stellar gateway further up than that. And bringing your energy back to your inhales and exhales. The word chakra, meaning wheel, circle, energetics. Also in some practices they call them nadis, energy centers. Extend this flame from you up through the stellar gateway down into the Gaia gateway, and know that you are the bridge between fathers in heaven, the patrians, and the depths of Mother Earth. This flame is your connection to both realms. And at this point, with your vision clearly on being, with this flame radiating from you out to anywhere and everywhere, you are now attracting by the vibrational energy intentions you're sending a signal. And simply repeat after me. Thank you, Angel, for reminding me that you're present. Thank you, Angel, for revealing to me everything I need to know. Thank you, Angel, for accompanying me on this journey. I am willing to embrace the light. I am willing to follow the wisdom. I am willing to listen and receive, and so it is. Now, out in front of you, at a distance, there is an identical flame with an identical orb around it, moving its way towards you. As it comes towards you, begins to reveal itself to you. Thank you, Guardian Angel, for revealing your presence and being here. It is so good to feel you, so good to see you. I welcome your presence. And so it is. Get a sense in your heart for this connection with your guardian angel. Be grateful for it. And that feeling of gratitude, that feeling of overwhelming love, the feeling that nothing you can do is not supported by this angel that's in front of you. Allow your arms to be stretched out a little bit. They can be open wide if you want to experience more, then open your arms super wide. And as you do so, see your guardian angel's energy reaching towards yours. With your heart energy connected to source energy through the stellar gateway, connected to earth energy through the Gaia's gateway, and now connected to your guardian angel's energy through your intention and desire. You are one. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Keep the energetic connection with your guardian angel. If you want, you can imagine, if you can see them in the form that they appear to you. You can also see them with their hands or wings or how they appear. All your desires are being sent, being received, being worked on. Your vibrational energy is lifting. Lift your thumb knuckles to your third eye center. Acknowledge your guardian angel, your angels, your spirit guides, and everyone else on the planet as we bow and say namaste. And that, my friends, is connecting with your spirit guide and your angel. Simple, pretty easy, but take some doing, take some practice. So come back to this find a spot on your you know how they say you can go into the timing and track it, and then just follow along. Listen, it's been my pleasure. I love you. Have a great Monday, and we'll chat tomorrow. Bye.